I'm going to put the photo of the design on screen now so you can see it. It's a very interesting design. Warning slash this, no, not disclaimer, it's a warning. We were lucky the last time and there was no interruption, no sounds, no noise. I don't know what happened, but I have a feeling that we're going to be interrupted today. So if you really want to hear everything I'm saying, please use a headset so you can hear my voice and filter out all the background sounds and noise that are going to come in the video. So yeah, let's get right to it. Excuse me. So this is what we have. This is what is in that picture basically. This is what's there, because I believe it's the top part she want me to explain. So this is basically what's there. Turtleneck bodice with long sleeves. And an illusion neckline. So this is what's under all that. Basically, I am, oh dear, I've been out of the frame. Okay, so this is basically what's there. This an illusion neckline, turtleneck, long sleeves. That's the body you're working with. What's extra, what's special about it is the cape that was added. So I'm deciding right now whether I should just cover the cape or I should cover both the cape and how to do an illusion neckline. Let me just go with both. Let me go with both. So for me, when I'm doing dresses like this, I like to start with the back. I'm just going to cut something out to represent the back. There's something random. To represent the back. You generally have your zip allowance here. Like that. The width of the neck, excluding the zip allowance, like this. I usually take 3 or 2.5, depending on the client I'm working with. And for the depth, I take half. It's turtleneck, so that's why these are the measurements I'm using. So basically, I do this, and then with this, I'm going to just get a rough sketch, a rough idea of what the front will look like. So we'll have this. I'm just showing you what I do. And then I'll mark out this. And just continue this like that. Next, I'm going to mark out our illusion neckline. So depending on how low you want it to start, let's say 6 or 7, that is where I'm going to get to. If I was doing this, I'll take about 3/4 of an inch as the distance here. So by the time you open it, by the time we open and sew, we'll have roughly 2 inches in between the bust. So from there, I'm going to curve all the way down. I think I need to do a better curve. So now that I have this, I'm going to proceed to creating my bustier. Okay, that's what we're creating now. And then to do that, we do the usual. Take the bust distance, that's from nipple to nipple, divide it by 2, and use that measurement to mark. So this is the bust distance from here to here. It's the bust distance divided by 2. That's what I'm using here. Next, I'm going to measure from here to the bust point. Let's assume this is where we have our bust point. And then I'll measure from here. I hope it's clear. Then I'll measure from here to the under bust. And I'm going to mark those lines out. I'm going to continue the lines straight. It's not compulsory you did all the way, but for explanation purposes, I am doing it all the way. So depending on the bust size, that's how I'll decide on what to take in here. So for the bust size, therefore, people that their bust circle minus their under bust circle is about 6 to 5 inches, like 5 to 6 inches difference, I generally take their bust in by, that's the cup in, by 2 inches. It varies. Maybe I'll leave a list of what I use for each bust size difference on the screen so you can see, but for this one it's a dummy measurement, so I'm not going to specify. So what I'll do is take whatever I use to take it in. If for example is 2, let's say it's 2, I'm using to curve the bust in. It means I'm going to take 1 inch out of here and 1 inch out of here, and I'm going to run that 1 inch down, run it down. So that means from this bust distance point, now from this line, I'm going 1 inch this way and 1 inch this way. So I have a total of 2 inches taken out of the under bust. That's what's happening here. So I'll curve this out now to this point and curve this out as well. Hold on please. Okay, so once I have this and this curved, now sometimes depending on what it is, that's what the person's bust is, and if there is an illusion neckline, I will curve the top part a little. Okay, so depending on what I have, like for this one, it has an illusion neckline attached to the top. Why is it blurry now? It has an illusion neckline attached to the top, like there is going to be lace up here. So I do not feel the need to take hair back. If not, if this was like a tube dress or a corset, the pattern for a corset rather, I will be taking hair in by, depending on the person's bust side, I could take bust size rather, I could take from here to here half, from here to here half, and then curve it again. But since we already have this at the top that is going to hold it to the shoulder and keep it in place, I do not really need to do that. It's not compulsory. It's not even necessary at all. So with what we have here already, what I will do now is to add all my allowances. So the waist now, usual waist divided by 4 plus 1, I'll add that, then add my 2 inches to it, then still add half an inch allowance. That's the allowance I'll use to join this and this together. I'm going to take quarter out of here and quarter out of here, so I'm adding half an inch to it. Just to repeat again, the waist divided by 4 plus 1, which is our sewing allowance on this side, plus this distance I have taken out, that's 2, so plus 2, plus half inch. That half inch is what I'll use to join this to this. That is quarter inch out of here and quarter inch out of here. That is what the extra half inch is for. Whatever I get is what I typically use for the bust, which will be extra. So when I'm done, I'll trim out the extra. But if at the end of the day I have say 10.5 here, I just go up with maybe 11. So I put 11 here and then go up with that 11 at the bust area. Most times it's even extra. When you're done doing all this, not much of that allowance is taken out of here, so you still have to trim. But it's better to be on the safe side and have extra than to have less. So I just go up with half an inch, and that's what I take here. When you are joining it to the back, you can now cut off whatever extra you need to cut off. So this is what we now have. What I would do after getting this the way I explained just now, what I will do next is to cut this out and cut this out. I'm going to do that now just to show you what it will look like. So I'm taking this out, it will be wiser, or should I say safer, to do this on paper, pattern paper, or on your lining, so that you don't waste the client's fabric in any way. So okay, so I'm taking this out. We still have some work to do here, but let's keep it to the side first so that I can cut this out. So tiny. Okay. So yeah, the whole thing is a mess now, but this is what you should have. This and this. So this is the bustier part of your bodice, all done. And then we'll come to this part. I'm doing this just to show you how I get my illusion neckline to sit well. So you can skip this if you already know how to do it. If you just keep to where I put the keep. Remember, we took 1/2 inch down at the back. You know, we used the back to create this one, and 1/2 inch is what we used for the neck depth here. But we are not using 1/2 inch in the front. I generally use 2.5 to come down. So like with this now, I'll be taking it down by 2 inches extra. Since it's already down by half, taking it by 2 inches extra. Like I said, it depends on the client's neck. I could use 3 for some clients, or 2.5. It depends on their neck circle. That's the circumference of their neck. So for this our sample, we are pretending that I used 2.5. So this is 2 inches extra, and I'm bringing it down. So this is not what you are going to attach to this. It's not what you're going to attach. What you'll be attaching now is a bigger size of this. So we are going to be sewing this to the bustier part, and I like to use 1/4 inch to do that kind of joining because it relaxes better. But what I do most times is to add all the allowance on the center part. So since I'm sewing with 1/4 inch, it means 1/4 inch should go out of the bodice part and 1/4 inch should go out of here. So I'm going to add everything here, and I'm going to add 1/2 inch to this. Sorry, I'm going to add 1/2 inch to this. There it stopped. So I'm just going to stop here like this. Run the rest of it, run the rest of it, run the rest of it. So I don't know if you can see the extra allowance I added. I ran 1/2 inch to everything at the bottom, at the joining part. Are you seeing it? So you add like your extra allowance. I suggest you just add 1/2 inch and sew with a 1/4 inch if you want it to relax. That's like ideal for what's going on with me? When you're doing patchwork and patterns like this, it's ideal that you join them together with 1/4 inch. I don't know what's happening today. Okay, so For the bishop collar, you can check my previous videos, or you can go on Instagram and check the video I did on creating bishop collars and curved waistbands, things like that. So if you're not following me on Instagram, please do. It's so support on Instagram, so hope to see you there if you're not already there. If you're already there, hi, welcome again. I have no idea what I'm saying. Okay, so this is basically what you have: your back, the illusion part of the dress with lace, and your bust here, bodice. So that's basically what you should have there. So that's that about illusion necklines. For this, I'm going to come back here and show you what to do with the cape. So for the cape, I'm going to draw the front and back so I can explain better. So this is the back of our bodice. Please let me know in the comment section if this is helpful. If it's not, if you have any difficulties whatsoever, just let me know so that I can continuously improve the quality of my videos and make them more helpful. I really would love feedback. If it was helpful as well, please let me know too, so that I know, okay, I'm doing the right thing and I'm giving the help I want to give that will be valuable to you. I'm actually very tired right now, but I made a promise and I've said I am going to keep that promise. Tired or not, we move. Okay, so now we have our back and our front. I'm going to show you how to put the cape now. So basically you're going to be measuring from here. It's 2 capes, 1 on each side. So you're going to take your tape and measure from here like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, to the back. Now you only be able to do that if you have already put the sleeve. It's preferable that you do that when your sleeve is already placed. You can do an estimate based on the person's round shoulder, but it's preferable that you do it after you have put the sleeve. If it's even possible, you can do a fitting with the dress like this to be sure it fits okay on the client before you attach the cape, if it's possible. But if it's not, I suggest you put your sleeves first before attaching the cape. It's not going to be difficult. All you have to do is take the zip down. If you've not already put it, if you've already put it rather, take the zip down so that it can open and allow you enough space to sew. So back to what I was saying, you measure from here like this, round. Now we are continuing on this side. So when you get here, you're coming back like this. I can't see the back of the outfit, but I'm assuming it ends here. I don't see any reason why it will continue into the zip line. So we're going to have this basically. It's not that curvy. I'm going to have this, and we're going to have this. Now after you have done that measurement, remember I said you're measuring from here like this round to the back. Whatever you have, let's say you have 20, rough estimate. Let's say that's what you got. So what you'll be cutting on your fabric, or you could start with a pattern at first, is this. Take a corner of the fabric, create a bias cut. Do not make the mistake of using a straight line to create this. If you use a straight line, it will not relax, to have an ugly fold. In fact, it will be a bad experience. So please don't use a straight line. We are going to use bias cut to create a mild, what I call a quarter flare, and that's what we're going to use to attach this. So this is it. Just like you will try to create your flare, you keep measuring the length or the radius. Let's keep measuring this until you get half of the length. Like we said, we are assuming we measured all this and got 20. So that means I should be having 10 here plus sewing allowance. So let's do 11. So this place should be 11. And then you take the widest width. The widest width here is this one, is this width. So whatever is here, from that picture, it looks like something that will be about 6 or 7 inches. I might be wrong, but from the picture, I'm guessing 6 inches. Yes, I'm guessing that's about 6 inches in width. So you're using the biggest width, which is the 6 inches, like we are guessing. And that's what you use here. So now that you have this, this is just a rough sketch for, or rather a rough sample. Well, you get the gist. So now that we have this, you can now create the actual shape. Ooh. You can now create the actual shape of your cape. So I'm going to leave out about ½ an inch here, because you're going to have to sew. As if you're sewing with quarter, you can leave 3/4 of an inch here, but you're going to sew this out. You're going to sew out of here, you're going to sew out of here. So it's better to leave that extra allowance. And then basically you're just recreating what's on the picture there. If we can get this video by some miracle to 1,000 views, I'll do a real life version of this, probably for myself or for a client, or just as a 3D pattern, as a block pattern. So let's hope that happens. Please make it happen. Watch, like, and share so we can get to 1,000 views. Okay, so what you'll be doing now is basically to sew it down in here. Is it clear? Okay. So what you're doing now is to sew it down. You're going to sew it, like set it on the fabric like this, all the way around to the back. Can you already see how it's looking like what is in the picture? This is going around to the back, this one is staying here. Okay, I think I did it too big for our dummy, so let me reduce it. But I think you can already see what it's going to look like. Can you see? Is it clear? Okay. You're sewing this down, and the rest of this is going to go round to the back. Going around to the back. That's it. That's basically it. So be sure to put I prefer you use collar stay so that this can stand. But if you are putting your collar stay, it shouldn't get to the end here. Your collar stay should stop, say, about an inch from the seam line. So your collar stay should be from somewhere like this, covering all here, so that it can stand. One more thing, it will be prettier if you actually sew this in between your illusion neckline and the bustier. So assuming we've created all this already, which I'll suggest you do, you could loosen this out, and then put this in and sew it in between the seam line of these two. Same thing on the other side. Now when you do that, it will look neater, because no matter how much this flaps, they won't be able to see where you sewed it. everything will be covered inside with the lining. By the time you get here, you can no longer, why is it so blurry? By the time you get here, you can no longer sew from inside, so you notch. This is what I mean by notching. You notch. So let's say this is the distance. Okay, let me just, this is the distance covered. Can you see it? Shadows and all that, and it's blurring. Let's assume this is the distance covered here. We can't go I can't take this to the back because this is 2D. This is flat paper. I can't go around the back, but you get the gist. This is the one that goes around the back. Now, like I said, you can sew this in between the illusion neckline and the bustier. So you loosen this part and sew it from inside, so nobody sees where you sewed it from. And then when you get to the point where you're going to enter the sleeve, which is here, when you sew up to that point, you notch. So now that you've notched that remaining part, you proceed to sew it on the sleeve just like this. So this is how you sew it on the sleeve all the way to the back. But the rest of it, which is this, will be sewn in between the illusion neckline and your bustier, which, like I said earlier, you can loosen it out to an extent and sew it from inside, so that no matter how this moves, nobody sees where you sewed. That's all. Bye.